Sabrina Ionescu. So there you have it. We're lined up. We're ready to go here at Barclays Center. The Lynx 0-1. They've played one game this season so far under their head coach, Cheryl Reeve. She is the 5th most winningest coach in WNBA history. Flanked to her right is Katie Smith, the former head coach of the Liberty, as Walt Hopkins getting some last-minute instruction for his squad before they take to the floor. 2-20 last year, but 2-0 to start this season. And as we mentioned before we hit break, Jules, for the first time since 2007, if Sabrina Ionescu and this team win tonight, they will start 3-0. Now, Nike released some new jerseys. You're seeing these. They're the Heroin Edition uniforms. We saw the Equality Seafoam back on Friday here at home, and tonight we're seeing the Liberty in their white unis as we are underway. But an immediate whistle. Apparently something wrong with the clock. They are resetting everything, and we'll start again. We'll get it right one of these times.
That's right.
That was Billy Smith, not the former Islander goaltender, but the official, one of the officials for this game, as Tim Green and Kevin Sparrock join him as the Lynx get things underway, going through their all-world center, Sylvia Fowles, and she starts the scoring.
Sylvia Fowles back at it this season. Only played in 7 games last year with that calf injury, so good to see her back on the floor. This is a different team with her.
Yeah, she had multiple injuries for her calves last season. Kept her out, as Jules just mentioned, just 7 games, but she was, during media day for the Lynx, she said she's back, she's healthy, and she's ready to go as Aerial Powers tries to knife through the Liberty defense, but Kylie Shook keeps her shot out of the bucket. Minnesota, as we mentioned in the open, a perennial postseason squad. They're looking to get back not only to the postseason once again, but back to the finals this season. A turnover there for the Liberty. But it's a championship culture that Cheryl Reeve has built, and there's no surprise that that's what Walt Hopkins, who used to be on Cheryl's staff, is trying to build with the Liberty.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she's a coach. Cheryl Reeve's a coach who brings in players that want to win, and they want to be a part of that winning culture. It's interesting, though, talking to Walt before the game about, hey, you know this team so well. You know there's this organization. And he said, that's true, but they're a brand new team. And so we don't know everything about them. We have to kind of regroup.
And one of those new players, right on cue, as you were saying that, scored for the Lynx, and that was Kayla McBride, who spent the first 7 years of her career with the San Antonio/Las Vegas franchise. As Sabrina Ionescu was hacked on that shot attempt, and she makes her first free throw, shooting 91% from the line so far in this young season.
A terrific first couple of games, as we mentioned in the open for Ionescu. Kind of what we expected out of her, and she does it in a lot of different ways.
And in a lot of different ways, Jules, this Liberty team is really Minnesota East. You know, what they want to do, bringing in players that believe in their system. You listen to the Cheryl Reeve podcast, that's what she wants. She doesn't want good players. She wants good players who are also good people. And you see that with Walt and his staff as well.
Yeah, and that's what he comes from. He learned a lot under Cheryl Reeve.
Benijah Laney trying to get going here. Got stuck there, gave up her dribble. Now the rookie, who's been scintillating so far this season, but Michaela Anyamwede can't get that layup to fall. Long three there by Aerial Powers is off the mark. Rebound to Sammy Whitcomb. Whitcomb breaking down the baseline. Great ball movement over to Benijah Laney for 3. Make some noise if you're with me. There she is. buckets Laney.
And that's one of the things that Sammy Wickham does really well. And there's a lot more playmaking on this Liberty squad between Sabrina Ionescu and Wickham being able to penetrate and pitch and find a scorer like Laney.
Liberty with a 5-4 lead here early on in the first quarter, and another foul away from the ball. It's going to be on Laney.
And see Sammy Wickham here, how she lulls the defense to sleep, comes off that on-ball screen, maintains the dribble, draws two, and kicks. But who makes the extra pass? Sabrina Ionescu. This is what you want. You want to see this kind of ball movement, and then you see Laney, who you need to have the ball in her hands whenever possible. She's knocking it down.
Ariel Powers misses that three, and another rebound to Wickham. Walt Hopkins was talking after the last game. Shook tries a three and connects. Kylie Shook from distance.
And Kylie Shook is that player who has improved the most in the preseason and the offseason from distance.
And Wickham with a steal. And I started to say the previous possession as Shook gets inside. Nice little two-woman game from Laney and Shook. A 10-0 run out of nowhere for the Liberty to take a 10-4 lead. But Wickham does everything. Walt says you might not see it in the box score, but you see it on the floor.
Yeah, it's under the radar, but constantly orchestrating.
And another interception. She's like a defensive back. Gets it to Ionescu. But her shot is blocked into the front row by Powers.
Just a terrific job here. Ionescu does a nice job just looking like she's going to pass it down low. And then Kylie Shook nails the three and then up in transition. And that's good hustle back
Ariel
defensively
Powers, yeah.
from Powers, who you mentioned, Powers, a big pickup for the Lynx. She had a terrific season last year.
Lynx, Jules, with 3 turnovers in less than 2 minutes, setting the Liberty up, helping them on this run. Ionescu in the corner. Now she tries the wing. 5 to shoot. From the logo, Ionescu! From the logo, the 25th anniversary logo. It only counts for 3 though, Jules, not 25.
Oh, man, I thought maybe 25. Come on. Come on.
That was like
7?
rock and
Maybe
jock.
can we add them together?
It was like rock and jock basketball from the MTV days back in the day.
And she's the one you want with that ball at the last second.
Laney, foul line extended, and the Liberty are on fire here. And that's going to lead to a timeout by Cheryl Reeve. 15-0 run here for the New York Liberty, Jules.
And Sabrina Ionescu has not disappointed to start this game. A great job orchestrating things, but how about knocking down some deep threes? Woo! She's hot. The girl is on fire.
We're back here at Barclays Center. Action starting once again. Jessica Shepard and Bridget Carlton have checked in for the Minnesota Lynx as Crystal Dangerfield's layup there is short. Liberty with a 15-0 run in less than 3 minutes. And they're getting back to work on the offensive end again, and it's no surprise that Sammy Wickham is making things happen once again. Liberty shooting 5 for 8 to start this game, 62.5%, 3 of 4 from downtown. And a travel called on Laney, another turnover there for the Liberty.
Well, this is the kind of start that you really want if you're Walt Hopkins. I mean, the first 2 games of the season are just confidence builders. You know, you get those 2 wins under your belt. Speaking from a former player's perspective, that is really important for your confidence. And you're still missing some key cogs. No Howard yet.
Right, and what about after last year in the bubble? This really helps the team's psyche. As Dantas' turnaround goes, and finally Minnesota ends their drought. Just under 5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Liberty up 15-6. Nice look inside. Laney with the extra move and puts it up and in. Bridget Carlton ahead of the field, but she had to slow things up. Carlton Carlton had herself a huge game against the Liberty on August 5th in the Wubble, scoring 25 points, a career high, proving that she belongs in the WNBA. And Cheryl Reeve loves her work ethic.
Bridget Carlton she has improved in every single category from last year. She shot 57% from the floor, then she upped her three-point percentage to almost 46%. So yeah, she's a deadly weapon that did have a terrific performance against New York.
Jazz Jones, and we get our first look at Kia Stokes, who just got back from her European vacation, but it's not really a European vacation. She was playing over there.
Yeah, she was in Turkey, won a championship there.
Dantas, long three, no good, and a long rebound to Stokes. That was something that Walt Hopkins really wanted to clean up after that first game against the Fever. And the Liberty have been extremely better on the boards. That pass goes awry there from Ionescu to Stokes. Leads to a McBride three, no good. Ionescu gets it up to Laney. He takes better at driving baseline, tries to feed Stokes in the post. Kind of a soft pass there and a collision with Jazz Jones and Aerial Powers.
You said it right. Soft passing will never get you anywhere, and this is the tipped pass.
Partially deflected.
Yep, and you see Powers just kind of gets in the way. Gets called for the foul there.
Yeah, you can't get in. Jazz Jones's motor is
non-stop,
never ending. And if you get in front of that motor, something like that is going to happen.
The Jazz Jones actually coming out of a pretty good game as well. She had 10 points the other day, hit a couple of threes, 2 for 2 on Sunday against Indiana. So it's good to see her really get going in game 2. A lot of weapons that Walt Hopkins has to turn to.
Sylvia Fowles, if we were to mention all of her accolades, it would be the entire show.
That's the truth.
The 14-year vet on the bench here as Dantas takes another three, and this time connects.
And Dantas is a smart player. She is their X factor. She's a deadly floor spacer, and I don't think people talk about her enough. She kind of flies under the radar every year, but she's tough.
Yeah, she started playing at Janeth Arcane's Basketball Institute at the age of 13, and 4 years later, she was a pro. Laney comes up with air there, but she's been playing basketball since she's 13 years old. Janeth Arcane, of course, part of the Houston Comets. She was drafted back in 1997 by the Comets. Nice turnaround jumper there, right on cue by her pupil.
Yeah,
and we
saw that mismatch, and that's something Minnesota is going to abuse. Dantas is on the block, and Onyenwere is covering her.
That time you saw Laney a little upset. She wanted Onyenwere to stay in the corner, and she popped to the wing, and that's why that pass was so off there. And Dee Dee Richards coming into the ball game. Richards played just 6 minutes in the first game, Jules, but her defensive intensity is something that Walt Hopkins really likes. And she played 17 minutes Sunday and was a difference maker.
He called her a tide changer. That's very encouraging. Only had a couple points, but she did do a lot of things defensively.
Rachel Banham into the game here, and a travel called on Aerial Powers.
So far, the defense here from New York is impressive. They're forcing Minnesota to play a little bit faster than they want, and you're seeing these turnovers from the Lynx.
And the Lynx, as we said in the open, Jules, they are shorthanded here tonight. Not only is Nafisa Collier, who just came back from France going through COVID protocol, she needs 6 negative tests, but we were kind of surprised to see Natalie Achanwa in street clothes tonight.
Yeah.
Ionescu, no good from downtown. But Cheryl Reeve has a short bench tonight here in Brooklyn.
Well, they're going to have to overcome this adversity early. Nice lob pass into Fowles.
But it's, you know what, if your bench is short, it's nice to have Sylvia Fowles on your squad.
One thing Crystal Dangerfield will do and needs to do this season is certainly assist the basketball a little bit more.
And that's no good from Ionescu, and a 7-0 run that the Lynx could add to here. They're down just 4. So we come up nearly on the 92nd mark of the first quarter. Long three from Banham. Not a friendly rim, and Jess Shepard gets the rebound, puts it back, and she's fouled.
Yeah, that's just too easy. Jess Shepard walked in the lane, and there wasn't a soul around her to put a body on her. And these are the kinds of things that Walt Hopkins is paying close attention to. The rebounding battle has to be better from New York each game. And so Jess Shepard does a great job, and then Fowles, of course, catches it. She's even cockeyed when she catches that and still finishes it from behind the rim there.
That's 14 years in the league. All that experience. She's just a straight baller, is Sylvia Fowles.
A really good response from Minnesota here, though. They got punched in the face, and they've shown a good response.
Nice movement without the ball there by Jazz Jones, but short on the shot. Banham trying to go coast to coast, lays it up and in. And the Lynx have their second lead of the game.
And Rachel Banham is so physical, so aggressive. That's what she does well, and New York's got to answer to this run.
They led 4-0, and Laney finally ends the 12-zip run by the Lynx. Gets that one to go, and the Liberty seesaw back in front. It's very interesting to see, Jules, too, how Walt Hopkins, as Fowles just is doing whatever she wants in the paint, how Walt Hopkins, before that game on Sunday in Indiana, was fighting for his players, didn't think the officials called enough offensive fouls in the first game against Indiana, as Onyenwere misses. And then they go to Sunday to Indiana. Not only were the offensive fouls called, but Tierra McCown got kicked out of the game.
Yeah, and we look here, Benijah Laney, who is one of the best off the ball. Just that pick and roll situation. She has been just tremendous.
Rebecca Allen, quick trigger there, and she'll have 3 free throws coming up. Checks into the game and will be at the free throw line.
And you mentioned Indiana, though, Chris, and I think anybody who watches those two games sees how Indiana really tried to get it inside against the Liberty. They pounded it inside, and so that's where you see here Fowles is getting it inside quite a bit. Dantas is also getting it inside, and that's something New York's going to have to try to handle.
Beck Allen came back to the team on Sunday in Indiana. She played 15 minutes. Hit a three-pointer. Also had a couple of rebounds, a couple assists. Spida is back.
The three-point sniper.
So I like that one, too. That might be a shirt as well. So Allen is back from Spain. Stokes is back from Turkey now. As we watch Fowles go to work once again in the paint, all Walt Hopkins needs back now is Natasha Howard from Italy, and that will happen shortly. She wrapped up her championship on Sunday. Her Italian team won that title, but she has to go through the same protocols as Nafisa Collier.
And getting Howard on this team will be such a game changer for New York. They'll have a veteran and interior presence who does it on both ends, and I'm curious to see just how she meshes with this group. I think it'll be a real positive thing.
Walt Hopkins seems to think so.
Yeah, I would say.
Whenever we talk to Walt, he always brings up Tosh, and for good reason. Nice look inside from Ionescu to Didi Richards. 1 second left. Banham takes a long look. No good. And at the end of one, the Liberty have a 23-21 lead over the Minnesota Lynx. We're back with second quarter action right after this. Back here at Barclays Center for the start of the second quarter. Liberty with a 2-point lead over the Minnesota Lynx. Let's go to Liberty Trivia, Jules. Oh
boy.
What's this? Is this new music?
It's intense.
It is
I
intense.
like it.
So you
different.
have to get intense. Who did Kia Stokes, there she is, pass to become the Liberty's all-time blocks leader?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
We're going to let you stew on that one.
I'm liking the new music. It's getting me into it.
Is
like
it?
Game ready.
It's not.
It's like Rocky.
It's like
Get ready.
like No Easy Way Out, Robert Tepper.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. It didn't intimidate you at all? Bantam with
It is
the
slightly
intercept?
intimidating. I will not lie.
But nice recovery by Jazz Jones with the block. You like to see that? Player with a turnover, hustle back on defense and makes a play.
Big time. Those are hustle plays that every coach wants to see.
Dee Richards loses it this time. Crystal Dangerfield trying to take it coast to coast. Doesn't get it to go. And the rebound to Jazz Jones fighting with Bantam.
Well, this is a really nice defensive play here from Minnesota. And you can't telegraph your passes because that's what's going to happen. And Rachel Bantam intercepts it. But good hustle back. That's the way to hustle back after you make a mistake. Jazz Jones is that kind of player. I mean, she is pure energy, pure hustle. And then she doesn't allow the layup.
You're pulling all these songs from the 80s out. Pure energy, too.
That was an accident. That was not even, I didn't even mean to do that.
Oh, my brain
You'll
is...
see that with me. I will say things, and I won't mean to.
My brain is stuck in the 80s, Drew. Kylie Shook in the paint. No good. Nice rebound there by Beck Allen. Out to Sammy Whitcomb. And she knocks down the three.
Terrific job. That extra possession off the offensive rebound and the kick out.
Liberty build their lead back up to 5 here. Fouls working on Shook. Good defense there by Kylie Shook. Great position.
And way to not foul while you're at it.
And then an offensive foul there on Shook as she ran Aerial Powers over.
But Rebecca Allen here, how about that? Get position, and then the best time to make a three is when the defense is scrambling off of an O board, and there's Sabrina cheering on her teammates. She doesn't make a lot of emotional moves when she's on the court. She's very cool, very calm, but I love it when she squeaks out a smile over there.
we gotta give the bench a lot of credit. The Liberty bench in the first quarter, they stood the entire first quarter. They're all sitting now. They were all standing for that first quarter. This team has everyone's back. It's so nice to see as McBride is off on a three. That is now 1 for 9 to start the game from 3 for the Lynx. Whitcomb tested the entire defense there, and then a bad handoff by Kylie Shook. Just a miscommunication between her and Beck Allen. Bantam tries to go around Whitcomb, but good defense there by Whitcomb, and now she leads the Liberty back down the floor. Will she test fouls? No. Dee Richards gets inside, kicks it out to Jazz Jones. Jones, a little out of control. Block from behind, and here come the Lynx.
Richards had a shot there.
She did, wide open.
She shied away from it. She should have taken that.
Nice work there by Powers. Draws the body and gets the shot to go. She'll be heading to the line.
Powers here on the other end does a great job. Nice body control. Little step through. And Ariel Powers, who we mentioned earlier, is a new player to this squad coming off 18 against Phoenix. And she is one of those players that has certainly improved throughout her career. She's an energy type player, does a lot of the little things and sparks the team. She came from the Mystics. She was tremendous with Coach Tebow over there.
Cheryl Reeve taking Powers from a program like the Mystics. It's just like an easy plug-in to her system, Drew. Same kind of championship pedigree with Mike Tebow as well. Walt Hopkins with a hockey line change before the free throw by Powers. Sabrina Ionescu back in the game along with Benijah Laney and Michaela Onyenwede. And now Ionescu at the line once again. Got to tell you, it's so nice to be back in an arena here at Barclays Center. Calling the game on Friday was such a thrill.
It was. And we told everyone, hey, can we get that every night with it's the game winner and everybody on the Liberty staff, they're like, no, come on. We don't want to have a heart attack every game. Let's try to get some blowouts, but it's hard to get blowouts in the WNBA. You know that. These are always close battles.
When you only have 144 for the entire league, Jules, you have the very best of the best competing against each other every game. And we'd be remiss if we didn't mention another turnover here for the Liberty, having some issues.
One too many turnovers from New York. Now, they're lucky that a lot of these turnovers have not capitalized. That's the third in a row that has not capitalized at the other end.
Yeah, they have 10 so far and 7 points off those 10 turnovers. They had some issues on Sunday, too. The 23 turnovers against the Fever in Indiana.
Something that they're looking to change from last season.
Pull up there by Onion Wade is no good, just a little short. But before the game today, his power spins. No good. And Kylie Shook there for the board. Just before the game today, when Kia Stokes was activated, the Liberty lost Rashonda Gray once again. She did such a great job in those 2 games when she was picked up. And she belongs in this league, Jules.
She sure does. She's just a straight gritty player, and so is she.
Yes, right on cue. Ionescu. Right on Ionescu. How about that?
You back off her for 1 second. It doesn't take her much. She's going to get that shot off.
And another timeout called here by Cheryl Reeve. And we're going to step aside after that 3 by Ionescu. The Liberty with a 4-point lead. I don't know if you saw this the other night. This play by the Nets against the Cavaliers in their last game of the season. Blake Griffin with the behind the back to Kyrita. Mike James off the backboard to Kevin Durant. I got to tell you.
Showtime!
It got Ian Eagle and Sarah Kustok and Michael Grady hype. And it got all of us in the studio hype as well. And this weekend, the second-seeded Nets begin their exciting playoff run. And yes, we'll be there with first-round coverage. Exact game times are still TBD. So check your local listings. The NBA postseason. Stay with the network that knows the Nets best. Watch the Nets on Yes. And the Nets will take on the winner of the Celtics and Wizards. And that game is at 9 o'clock tonight.
And they're finally starting to get healthy, getting on the same page in that category, Sherney. So really excited. They've got home court advantage coming up. Sleep in their own beds.
You know what's amazing, though? You know what's amazing about this team? And people could say, well, look at all the talent they have. Yeah, that's right. But the Big Three has played just 8 games together, Jules. They're 6-2 with the Big Three.
It's unreal.
That's it. And they're still the 2 seed. They have home court throughout until and if they meet the 76ers.
That's what's most impressive is they've got a whole team's worth of players that have gotten them here.
Right. And
without just the 3.
And the job that head coach Steve Nash has done, he's got a great staff with him as well, with Jock Vaughn, what Jock did in the bubble, with the bubble Nets last season, took them to the playoffs. They were swept by the Raptors. But Jock Vaughn, Mike D'Antoni.
It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, Steve Nash has done a tremendous job. And also 38 different starting lineups for that team.
Crazy. And yet they've been consistent and a lot of coverage coming up for postseason.
Can't wait for that. And we are back to action here as Carlton misses. Sylvia Fowles there for the rebound and effortless.
She sure makes it look easy. And Sylvia Fowles always talks about how ever since she started playing for Cheryl Reeve a few years ago in Minnesota, she's learned more with this organization than she's learned in her entire career. Hearing that from a player like Fowles, that goes a long way, and it really tells you what kind of program this is.
Lene Harper picked up that foul. And she's getting her first action. Second-year player out of Ohio State. And she has a connection to, nice look inside from Ionescu to Shook, but she can't hang on to it. Lene Harper was mentored at Ohio State by Kelsey Mitchell of the Indiana Fever.
Look at it, all bleeds together, doesn't it? It's a small
world. It is in TV too.
Yep.
Harper went undrafted in 2018, started her collegiate career at Kentucky, then transferred to Ohio State.
And she was waived this year, but Minnesota had so many injuries and people overseas, they could bring her back with that hardship waive thing. And so she's back on the roster.
But Nafisa Collier going through COVID protocol right now, just coming back from France. She is such a key piece of this Lynx team. When she gets back.
Oh, yeah, this will be a totally different team.
Sammy Whitcomb, a long three, in and out. And now some feverish pace back and forth by these two teams. McBride loses control, has to kick out. Carlton working on Whitcomb and gets the friendly roll.
Nice drive by Carlton. Very patient and good body control.
Jules, you brought up the point in the first quarter how the Lynx took a big-time smack in the mouth. They were down 15-4. This game is now tied at 33 as Anya Nwede cannot connect.
The Lynx are too well coached, and they've got too many veterans to ever go away. You can never rest or sit on your laurels against them.
Ionescu, stop, pop, no good. Laney there around 3 jerseys, and we keep it here. Great work by Laney in the perfect position for that board.
Just some of the little things Laney does to get her points, to get positioning. Always hustling.
She never averaged more than 5.6 points a game as Ionescu gets fouled there. Did Laney until last season when she averaged 17.2 joules as the most improved player. Then what does she do? She comes out this season and scores 50 points in her first 2 games, and add the 11 from tonight. That's 61 through 3.
And she's just greatly improved, but she's gotten the chance, and I think that's what the key is.
It's Seafoam season, hashtag Seafoam season. Rep the New York Liberty with all new gear for the 2021 campaign, from jerseys to hoodies, hats, and more. The New York Liberty team store has you covered. Visit nyliberty.com to shop. The new drip for this team is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. The jerseys look great. The branding is outrageous. I just love what they've done.
You know, they had the orange in the torch previously. Now they have the copper for the torch, and it just pops. I'm a jersey freak.
The shorts, I love it.
Yeah, I'm a jersey freak, so
You've got it in your closet. I know you already
I do.
are in mine.
I have a lot. Trust me. More than my wife would care to have in the house, that's for sure.
And if you could see our sneakers on a daily basis, Chris Sheeran has the best shoe game ever.
Well, I had to compete with you.
Shoe game.
I had to compete with you 2 years ago at Westchester County Center, because if anyone brought the shoe game, it was Jules.
Now we don't see our feet too much.
No,
it's all good.
That's okay. Michaela Onyenwede and Jess Shepard will jump it up here. That was like a volleyball spike off of that. Fouls, turnaround jumper, overshook, and that is automatic for Sylvia Fowles.
And she's getting whatever she wants in there. When she touches it that deep in the lane, she is going to get an opportunity. Nice dive.
Great feed and nice dive, as Jules said, by Whitcomb.
Boy, that is just the kind of teamwork between guards.
Kayla McBride, nice touch there on the elbow. Tied once again at 37 as Laney tries to break it down. Ball movement leads to Whitcomb, but her shot is short. You're seeing crisp ball movement by both of these clubs, Jules. You could see how technically sound, and you could guarantee that Walt Hopkins coached under Cheryl Reeve.
They're getting good shots, and that's all you ask for.
That time Shook didn't have position and gets called for the foul there on Fowles.
And you have to love the teamwork between the guards. Sabrina Ionescu finding Whitcomb, diving to the basket, and got ourselves a tie right now.
Tied here with 2:20 to go in the second, and Jules, both teams have to keep their head on a swivel with
And this
Sabrina.
She is somebody who draws people. You see how two players come at her, and then if you're off the ball like Sammy Wickham here, you know, hey, I better be moving my butt all over the floor because Sabrina's going to draw too, and she's going to find me. And that's the kind of player that has been missing with this organization for a while, and she's just got such a headiness to her.
And moving without the ball, too. We've seen that in all 3 games against Indiana, both here and out in Indiana. And tonight you're seeing Benijah Laney with the cuts, Michaela Onyenwede with the cuts.
The reason it works is because Sabrina commands attention. She can score. So you've got a player.
Onyenwede with the nice take, and she lays it up and in. Liberty with 10 assists on 12 field goals. They now have 13 field goals, 10 for 13. And Minnesota, 15 field goals, 10 of them, Jules, in the paint.
And that's
Not
no
that
surprise. Yeah, that's the first from distance that we've seen in a while. They haven't shot well from 3.
Just 2 for 12 from downtown for Minnesota. Nice give and go with Ionescu and Stokes.
She thought she got fouled, but good backdoor cut. You're overplayed. That's the best way to go.
You know, I didn't have my retirement plan scheduled until I came here on Friday night, and I was going to tell you and I forgot. I want to be a timeless torch. That is my retirement plan. So
they do a great job.
If the Liberty...
True fans right there.
If the Liberty are watching and listening right now, in about 10 years, your boy wants to be a timeless torch.
I can see the bandana around your head, too, and just rocking it out.
They are so much fun to watch. And now, not only do they have the timeless torches on one end of the floor, they have the torch squad on the other side of the floor. And we met the new mascot for the New York Liberty Friday's game, and that would be Ellie, the elephant.
Taking over for Maddie.
Yeah, but Maddie is still in the mix, not going away completely, which is good to hear.
You had to keep Maddie around for 25. Come on,
yeah,
keep 25 alive.
There you go. Nice, partner. Sabrina Ionescu, off balance, hits the J there. That was pretty.
Pretty shot. Yeah, she's got a lot of moves in her repertoire.
Fouls doubled in the middle, and she is fouled, and she gets it to go.
2-time WNBA champ here, an Olympic gold medalist. And then Sabrina Ionescu, who's really, this is her first true season in the league, just showing how good she is, how talented she is. And then Sylvia Fowles getting double teamed, making it through traffic, although I didn't think she really got fouled there. She has gotten whatever she's wanted in the paint.
6-time All-Star, 3-time All-WNBA first team. Misses the foul shot, so it doesn't complete the three-point play. And a bad pass by Whitcomb there. And Powers outrunning, stops in front of Ionescu, does not get that shot to fall, and Onyenwede, hustling back, gets the board. Nice look inside to Stokes from Whitcomb. Tries the bunny, but no good. Tough when Sylvia Fowles is standing right there in your way.
It is. I'd love to see Stokes up her inside presence this season.
Coming up at the half, Jules, life outside the Wubble this season. We'll hear from head coach Walt Hopkins and some of his players on what it's like to be here in Brooklyn at Barclays Center and living in Brooklyn. And we'll also have stats and analysis of first half action between the Lynx and the Liberty. Just under 45 seconds to play here in the first half. So glad you joined us here on the Yes Network and the Yes app. Liberty's third game this season. They've led by as many as 11, but now they trail by 3, possibly 4, depending on this foul shot. Looking to go 3-0 for the first time since 2007. Onyenwede with the baseline J, no good. Rebound to Crystal Dangerfield. Rookie of the Year last year. Her shot off the mark. And now Laney will run with Ionescu. 2-on-1. Stops at the free throw line. Gets it to Sabrina, and she lays it up and in.
Really nice teamwork. That's the way to hesitate. Change the speed and make the extra pass from Laney.
That's how you're taught, Jules, right? Stop at the free throw line and look for your teammates.
Just trailing behind. That's a big bucket actually entering the half.
And Sylvia Fowles getting called for the shoulder shiver on Sabrina.
Great job, Laney, here, just drawing the defense, and then Ionescu on the other end of it this time with the finish.
That was the perfect 2-on-1 drill right there. 4 seconds left as Laney tries to create some space, goes with the left. Oh my goodness. That would have been such a great finish if Laney could have gotten that to fall. But that's the way the first half will come to a close. The Lynx with a 45-43 lead over the Liberty. We've had 8 lead changes and 6 ties in this one. We're set up for a great second half. We'll have the halftime show right after this on Yes. Here are the leading scorers in the game tonight. Sylvia Fowles, 18 points in 16 minutes. Kayla McBride chipping in with 10. They're both in double digits. So are Sabrina Ionescu and Benijah Laney. Now, those are the leading scorers tonight. But what we need to know from you, Jules, is who was the leading blocker? Who did Kia Stokes pass to become the Liberty's all-time blocks leader? And remember, when the music ends, we need your guess.
And this intense music
this
got
is
me
like
really
Jeopardy.
uptight. It really got me uptight, but it's Sue Wicks. It's got to be Sue Wicks.
All right. Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
Before the music ends, Jules says Sue Wicks. Is she right? She's right.
Sue Wicks, a legend. There's a lot of legends from New York.
So let's take a look now at the blocks leaders of all time, Jules.
Tina's
Kia
up
Stokes,
there, not surprised.
Wicks, Tina, Elena Baranova, and Shamika Kristen.
And Kia Stokes entering that category, and that's really no surprise. We saw her do that at UConn as well. In college, she was just one of those dynamic shot blockers and defenders. That was one of her best assets at UConn. Her defense. Gino Moriarty used to harp on it all the time. He had to force her hand in the scoring department, but she was a tremendous defender. She's carried that over into the W. I'd like to see her get more aggressive offensively still, though, a few years in. This is her 6th season.
About ready to get things started here in the third quarter. Liberty led by as many as 11. Bursted out of the gate. They were down 4-0. Went on a 15-0 run to take a 15-4 lead. Then the Lynx came right back. They were able to tie this one, and at the half, they took a 2-point lead. So we'll see if New York can get back to what they were doing early on in that first quarter, where it seemed like everything was falling for them.
Yeah, that was a hot start for New York, and it's a good sign, and they're obviously hoping to start this half the way they did the first.
Bridget Carlton is in there with the starters for the Lynx to start the second half. As Onion Wade gets it over to Laney, steps back, doesn't get the roll. See what kind of defensive adjustments Walt Hopkins makes with Sylvia Fowles in the middle. We mentioned she had those 18 points in 16 first half minutes as Dantas drives but misses. Kylie Shook has been so solid for the Liberty over the first 2 games. And nice look again inside from Ionescu, this time to the rookie out of UCLA.
Yeah, that's a beautiful job. Just way to get into space, and Onion Wade finding her rhythm down low. She's had a tremendous start to this season.
McBride just inside the 3-point line, doesn't go. We're just talking about Kylie Shook. She did such a great job against that front line with Rashonda Gray, who unfortunately with the roster crunch was waived by the Liberty. But that tag team of Shook, nice move inside by Laney as she lost Dantas there. But that tandem of Shook and Gray really handled Lavender and McCowan, especially in that second game.
They used some physicality for sure, and that's what they needed against Indiana. Indiana they've got some true post players.
Powers misses the long three. And, that's something Walt brought up on Media Day, how they could practice and actually work on nuance instead of teaching from the beginning this season. As UNESCO tries to long two, doesn't go in. But having practice drills, it matters, and you could tell from these first 2.5 games so far.
They had more time in the preseason, and they were at home. That makes a huge difference.
That is huge. 5 to shoot here as the ball gets to fouls just outside the paint. 2-1. Finally gets it up, but no good. And Ionescu with the board.
But that's the way, for Kylie Shook, that's the way to keep pushing fouls out a little bit. Let her catch it a little further.
Lynx wanted a double dribble there by Ionescu, and they might have had a case. We'll have to take another look at that one as the ball went out of bounds there, and the Lynx will be in control. Cheryl Reeves still pleading her case for that double dribble.
Yeah,
she got away with one.
She got away with one there.
And we told everyone Minnesota 0 for 4 in this quarter. We have our own official, our producer Josh Isaac, in the truck.
And nice job of the camera crew catching that one.
Absolutely, we have the best crew in the business.
Absolutely.
Liberty looking to add to their 2-point lead. Nice look on the corner there. The cutting Whitcomb, but she kicks it back out. 9 to shoot as Laney tries to go through 2 Lynx defenders. And Crystal Dangerfield comes the other way with it. Nice look there to McBride, and she lays it in.
Yeah, Whitcomb thought she might have had the layup, but she saw fouls coming at her. And as soon as you see those 6'7" arms coming.
Yeah, that wingspan is a little rough.
The Dangerfield is so quick to just release.
Ionescu out to Wickham. A long three is short. Rebound to Carlton. Rough start shooting for both teams here in the beginning of this third quarter as fouls backs in Kylie Shook and misses.
A little flat on her shot, maybe showing some fatigue.
Good hustle there by McBride, but it'll stay with the Liberty with 18 to shoot. And Walt was talking before tonight's game, and someone posed the question about would he use Kia Stokes a little bit more tonight because she was back in action. But he's going with Kylie Shook because she has shown him over the first 2 games that she came to ball this season.
She's been the most impressive attribute to his post players, and he really wants to invest in her, and he really does feel a lot of teams will clip a post player before they've been able to be developed, but he wants to develop her. He feels she's got that potential and that skill set that he's looking for.
That's how you know Walt Hopkins' offense is working, as we get a foul here. A wide open look from Rebecca Allen. She missed it, but the fact that she got a wide open look means that there was ball movement and everything happened the way it was supposed to happen on that set. The Liberty started 3 of 4 from downtown. They're now 2 for 11.
And this is the kind of system Walt Hopkins has where you live and die by the 3, although he's got a lot of players that do other things this year as opposed to last season, where I thought they took threes beyond what they should have. Now it's a bit more balanced.
Benijah Laney might have gotten away with another walk there. And now she takes a corner 3 and hits it, and Cheryl Reeve bumps into Cheryl Reeve. And Cheryl was not happy about that almost walk there by Laney.
She nailed a 3 after the fact.
And then insult to injury, running into Coach Reeve, the Washington Township, New Jersey native. That's South Jersey.
But she's back kind of in her hometown here, not far.
Nice work by Beck Allen, getting fouled by Damaris Dantas, and she will head to the line.
Benijah Laney just relocating here. That's the way to relocate if you're watching That's the way to knock it down. And she bumps into Cheryl Reeve, but she likes that shot. The Liberty take the lead here.
Liberty up 3, just under 5 minutes to play here in the third. Saturday on Yes. Don't miss NYCFC's next game as the boys in blue take on the defending MLS Cup champions Columbus Crew. Coverage starts at 7 on Yes and streaming on the Yes app. Spida is good with her first free throw. Beck Allen back in the fold for Walt Hopkins. Did not play last year. Opted out of last season in the Wubble. And she's good on both.
And she's their three-point specialist. I mean, she really stepped up throughout the last couple of seasons with New York. She's really their veteran, 5 years in the W, and she's been with New York the entire time.
Liberty have wings for days and threes for weeks. Jess Shepard with the offensive board, no good, and a foul called. So again, the offensive or the defensive boards here for the Liberty, an issue.
And Jessica Shepard, who has always been known for her passing, it's good to see her back on the floor. I mean, she hurt her right knee back in 2019, and then she had to have surgery. She pretty much missed all of last year. It's been about 2 years since she's gotten to play. Yeah. And competitively and in a Lynx uniform.
All 5 starters from that 2019 Notre Dame finals team that lost to Dee Richards and Baylor made rosters. Jackie Young, Arike Odumbawale, Brianna Turner, Jess Shepard, and Marina Mabry. As Beck Allen again, back to back.
And Becca Allen, she has the ability to score in bunches. We've seen that over the years with her. When she gets a couple going, expect to see a few. Nice here again. Ionescu with a beautiful pass, and then Allen with the drive. The offense just looks so smooth. Nice left-handed layup.
Ionescu now 3 rebounds and 2 assists shy of her first career WNBA triple-double as Shepard hits on her first.
A lot of versatile players on the Liberty this season. Players that are not one-track minded. They can take you off the dribble. They can shoot threes. They all can shoot threes. That's the kind of system.
Very versatile.
Yes, Walt Hopkins has put into place. And the kinds of players he wants. Kind of modern-day basketball, positionless basketball.
And you know what? You've been seeing that so far this season. As Shook shakes the net. Hits her second 3 of the game.
Part of her game is blossoming.
Walt Hopkins said that at Media Day, that her three-point shooting has gotten better, and she is flashing that tonight as Beck Allen comes up short there.
New York needs to get some stops. Minnesota is coming at them every time with an answer.
Liberty 7 of 17 from downtown, 41%, shooting 44% from the floor overall. As Ionescu backs in, powers, gets it to go, and she's fouled.
She shows such toughness. I mean, she continues to keep the ball alive, handles the ball, a great little step through, just flips it up. Makes it look easy, but it's not. She absorbs that contact. These are the kinds of things that we've seen throughout her career. And a lot of people question, will it translate in the WNBA? Will she be able to do what she did in college? And boy, I think that she's answered some questions, don't you, in the first 3 games? 1,000 assists, 1,000 rebounds, and 2,000 points in her college career at Oregon.
Yeah, first man or woman to ever do that in NCAA history. And I brought up she's just 3 rebounds and an assist shy of a triple-double. No Liberty player has ever had a triple-double. And there's a triple for Ionescu. And the lead has ballooned back up to 7 for New York. And Cheryl Reeve wants to talk it over.
I love the extra passing, the unselfish basketball from the Liberty. Kylie Shook had that shot. She was open and she had just nailed the three, but she made the extra pass to Sabrina Ionescu, who you know is also a tremendous. See, she could have taken this. She made the extra pass. That's the right play. And Ionescu nails it just comfortably. How do you even leave a player like her that open? It's beyond me. But you know what? Powers didn't know where to go. She said, I got Kylie Shook, I got Ionescu, both of which are really good three-point shooters. That's the way to space the floor out.
Fans, Friday night on Yes, don't miss the next Liberty game as the Seafoam Green head to D.C. to take on the Washington Mystics. Coverage starts at 7 right here on Yes, and always streaming on the Yes app. Sabrina Jules has scored 21 points and has assisted on 22 points. She is responsible for 43 of New York's 62 points.
Incredible. And the perfect player for this New York market.
She kind of embodies what you would expect a New York player to embody. You know that? I was thinking about
cross
that.
Country.
Yeah.
You are right. Because the moment is not too big for her. This market can be brutal, as we've known sports in this area. It can be tough on a player and a person. She can handle that.
Certain players are built for New York, and Sabrina Ionescu is built for New York. So is Benijah Laney, by the way.
Yeah.
I think they have an entire team built for this city. As you see, Rebecca Allen's
Blue
long
collar
arms. Yes, exactly. And that's what Walt Hopkins and Shelley Patterson, one of his assistants, was talking about at Media Day. This is a blue-collar team. They're going to know we were there on defense. They're going to feel us. All the players said that. As Ionescu goes in amongst the trees, doesn't get it to go. 8 to shoot. Shot clock did not reset. Nice look inside by Whitcomb to Onion Wade, but she can't finish. What passing there by the Liberty.
Yeah, that's a shame. That would have been a beautiful play.
That's a highlight rollout play right there. And happy birthday to assistant coach Shelley Patterson as well.
Yes, happy birthday. That's right. We were told right before the game. And this is kind of a revenge game as well. We mentioned all the coaches that have bled into both these programs. It's very interesting.
Walt Hopkins,
Shelley, and then Katie Smith,
right,
who was the former New York Liberty head coach, now with Minnesota, assistant coaching.
Former Lynx player Rebecca Brunson, also on the staff with Cheryl Reeve. As McBride a little out of control there. But another offensive rebound here for the Lynx, but this time fouls cannot connect. Lynx have gone ice cold here at Barclays Center. Nice idea there by Ionescu, but Allen could not get to it. And the ball will go back to Minnesota as Jazz Jones will check back into the game for the rookie out of UCLA, Michaela Onion-Wade. Jazz Jones says, you know, some of her teammates, they might be down. She is never down. Her job, she said, is to be the light for this team. And not only off the floor, but you know it when she gets on the floor.
And she might not be getting as many minutes as we saw her getting last season because she's got to share some time with Onion Wade and some of the others that are in this year. But she's always going to add a spark when she gets in that game.
Nice D there by Rebecca Allen. Tried the outlet there, but it was partially blocked as Dantas thought about another three. This time steps in, no good. Wow, what a difference maker Rebecca Allen has been on defense. Those long arms. She's not called Spida for nothing, Jules. 17 seconds left. 2-second difference between the shot clock and game clock as Ionescu working on Carlton. And we get a foul up top on Carlton.
That's foul charge number 6, Bridget Carlton. That is her first, team's first, under 3 minutes.
Ionescu will trigger in from the side. 9 seconds, shot clock now off. Jazz Jones trying to break down McBride, tries to cross over, gets it out to Allen for a long three, no good. Weak side board goes to fouls, and that's how the third ends. Liberty outscored the Lynx 19-10 in the third quarter. Sabrina Ionescu, 1 assist, 2 rebounds shy of a triple-double.
She makes it look so easy, doesn't she? She comes off screens and has that stroke, and she's been deadly from distance, but she gets her teammates rolling as well because she is the maestro of this offense. She penetrates, she pitches, she really picks and chooses spots and doesn't ever force things. She lets the game come to her. 8 boards right now, 9 assists, 21 points. That is a whale of a stat line, Chris.
Indeed it is. We'll see if she can complete that here in the fourth quarter. She starts the game on the floor for the fourth. A nice little floater there from McBride. And that ends a little bit of a slide here for the Minnesota Lynx. They finally get a bucket, cut the lead to 5.
Yeah, they really needed one. They were in a drought.
Jazz Jones in rhythm, doesn't get that to go. Another board for fouls. That's her 10th. She's got a double-double. Now back to Sabrina Ionescu. Let's go and take a look at triple-doubles in WNBA history. There have been 9, 8 in the regular season, so it would be the 10th triple-double in WNBA history. Cheryl Swoops had a triple-double in the 2005 first round against Seattle in Game 3 back then, but my goodness. I mean, she had 26 in college. Do we think it's only going to be 1 for Sabrina, Jules?
It's incredible. And to do that in your first true year, which is what I'm going to call it throughout the season, her first true year in the league is impressive.
How about this? The Lynx shot 3 for 18 in the third. Sabrina had 4 assists all by herself and 5 points in the third quarter.
Not too bad.
No. She had 1 more assist than the Lynx had field goals in that third. The Lynx only scored 10 points.
And she's moving well, Chris. I mean, we talked about how she was off with that injury for 12 months or what have you. She was moving very well.
Whitcomb, nice little jumper there, off balance at the elbow. And Whitcomb nails it.
I love Whitcomb's presence out there. Just the veteran presence. You could tell that she's just got that savvy nature, knows what she's doing. But fouls again there with the finish. She's been a real thorn down low.
Yeah, the Lynx have been said to go into fouls and run their offense to her too much, but it seems to be working here tonight.
32 points in the paint for Minnesota.
Yeah. If it ain't broke. Nice move inside by Ionescu, but can't finish as she sent Banham tumbling. McBride, quick trigger from 3, no good. Weak side board went to Stokes. Liberty back in business. They're actually out-rebounding the Lynx 36-30. Beck Allen stops. A little off balance there. Couldn't get that to go, and fouls with another board. Talking about Wickham, she's filling it up again tonight. 7 points, 8 rebounds. Also very active defensively. She's working on Bannerman right on cue. She gets the steal, and here's Jazz Jones. Easy layup, and it's good.
And that's great defense there, and just really poor offense, telegraphing the pass.
And Cheryl Reeve not happy with that inbound pass. She is taking Rachel Banham out of this game and putting Crystal Dangerfield back in. You could see when that ball was batted away by Whitcomb, she was very annoyed.
Lazy passes will lead to easy baskets. There haven't been a ton of easy baskets throughout the night. And Rebecca Allen here heads up play. And Jazz Jones, where she's at her best is in transition. When Jazz Jones is able to create some offense off of defense, that's when she is just in her prime. And I think that's something that Jazz Jones can focus on individually. Really get in defensively, because that will lead to a lot of her offense.
Walt Hopkins has to be very happy the way his defense has played the last 2 games.
huge focal point this year.
Yeah, in Indiana on Sunday and here tonight at Barclays Center against the Lynx as Carl gets that little baseline jumper to fall. Another back and forth game here at Barclays, just like we saw against the Indiana Fever. Ten seconds to shoot here for Ionescu. Weaving her way back and forth, gets it to Wickham, sets her up for three, and she connects. Sammy Wickham in double digits with 10 points.
I love how she plays with such intensity. And again, Sabrina orchestrating, penetrate and pitch.
Nice defense again by Kylie Shook, standing there with her hands straight up in the air. Dantas couldn't do anything. What a game Shook is having for Walt Hopkins. Onion Wade with the travel, took one too many steps there. Just about to say, wow, her legs are long, but that was an extra step.
I don't mind it. I appreciate the aggressiveness, and that's something that Michaela Onion-Wade has got to continue to do, just play aggressive.
We are on triple-double watch. One more rebound for Sabrina Ionescu. And she will have the first in Liberty history and the 10th in WNBA history. Nice look inside to Jess Shepard, and even better defense, but she gets her own board and puts it back in.
Yeah,
back down to a 4-point lead.
Yeah, good hustle on Jess Shepard's part. She's there. Those are the garbage points that they are looking to get right now.
And she's got to be hungry, Jules. As you mentioned in the first half, she had that ACL injury in her rookie season in 2019. Looking to prove herself to Cheryl Reeve as Wickham leaves it up there just like Wesley Snipes and White Men Can't Jump. It's pretty. It's so pretty. Sammy from downtown gives the Liberty a 7-point lead with 5:38 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Back here at Barclays Center, the Liberty with a 7-point lead. Tomorrow night on Yes, catch Aaron Judge and the Yankees as they battle the Texas Rangers in the third game of a 4-game set in Arlington. Live coverage starts at 7 on Yes and streaming on the Yes app. Sabrina Ionescu has just accomplished a triple-double, getting her 10th rebound, and she hits the three! Oh, baby! And it gives the Liberty their largest lead of the game.
She loves Brooklyn.
And Brooklyn loves her. McBride is off there on that three.
And she's having fun. That's the best thing. 9th triple-double in WNBA regular season history.
24 points.
3 games in.
11 assists and 10 rebounds. And this is what we wanted to see in the Wubble last year as Onion Wade from Wade downtown connects, and it's a 13-point lead.
They saved it for this year, Chris. That's the sure thing.
Now an offensive foul on Powers. The Lynx are falling apart at the seams here as the Liberty are on a 9-0 run.
And this is the rebound that got Sabrina the triple-double. She's like, that's mine.
How fitting is that, too, that she gets it off one of the GOAT's misses, Sylvia Fowles.
And she's just all over the floor.
Liberty playing with house money now, up by 13. Just over 4 minutes left. Laney working on McBride. Turnaround jumper, no good on the baseline. Rebound to Dantas.
But talk about the appropriate moment for New York to pull away here.
Kylie Shook, good defense there, but it's Sylvia Fowles.
And she's finding her rhythm every time.
Moves for days. Nice idea there by Laney. And she was going to complain that she was fouled, and she was by Dantas.
Fouls right now, 24 points. She's 10 of 16 from the floor. As we look at the triple-doubles list, Cheryl Swoops was one of my favorite players watching back in the day. 1999 when she did it with the Comets. And she's in good company. Sabrina's in crazy good company.
She's got the quick trigger from downtown, and our graphics coordinator, Sam Hickey, with the quick trigger in the truck. Laney moves into the lane and lays it in. And then a bad pass on the inbounds, and it's Liberty ball.
I just love how Benijah Laney plays. I mean, she just does it in so many different ways.
The Liberty closing this one out in fashion. They have an 80-67 lead with 3.5 minutes to play. And, you know, this is something, Jules, back in 2019, in the wobble when they had the lead in 2020, it was closing games, which was an issue. Under Katie Smith in 19, under Walt, for obvious reasons, in 2020 with the 7 rookies. But this team is showing something here early on this season.
They've got a grittiness to them, and they've got several weapons, including this Benijah Laney, who is such an added piece. I mean, there's so much shine around Sabrina Ionescu, which she deserves that shine. But Laney is just an incredibly dynamic player, just as important to the piece of the puzzle with this team. But it's just those pieces that have to come together.
Libs fans, don't miss any of the 25th anniversary action this season. Return to see Sabrina Ionescu and the New York Liberty take on the rest of the league. Visit nyliberty.com to view the full 2021 schedule and lock in your single game tickets. Ionescu has scored 24 points and assisted on 30 more. She's responsible for 54 of the Liberty's points. Unbelievable.
And her motor keeps going. She doesn't look tired.
Got to give a tip of the cap, too, to our statistician, John Bombarda. Easy for me to say 3 times fast, but John is doing yeoman's work.
Yes, over here, helping us out.
As he always does.
A lot of stat stuffers on this team.
Oh,
it's going to be that way.
John's in for a busy season. Ionescu extends to a 14-point lead, can make it 15 here with her 26th point, and she does just that. Automatic at the charity stripe. 26, 12, and 10 for Ionescu and the Liberty with their largest lead of the game. It's 15. And great D again by Whitcomb. Walt Hopkins never stops coaching. He loves his defense right now. They are closing this game out in style. Here at Barclays Center, the Liberty pulling away slowly but surely. They're up by 15. Their largest lead of the game with just under 3 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Whitcomb almost with another steal there, but Fowles takes it to the rack and puts it in.
Fowles has that ability to take the team on her back. And she's doing just that right now.
And it's going to be interesting to see here with Sabrina with the ball. Walt was a little concerned with their clock management with the lead against Indiana on Sunday. We'll see if they use shot clock here with this 13-point lead.
And they should. There's no rush to take a quick shot. You want to get a good shot. That was a good shot.
Right. We also want to be mindful that this Minnesota team is very dangerous on the offensive end, and they could start to cook at any second. Not there, though, with Dantas.
But you never want to play not to lose, and I think that's what you're getting at, is you want to continue to keep your foot on the gas, but being patient while doing so. And that can be a challenge for some players.
Absolutely, especially when your motor's going 1,000 miles an hour the entire game. It's hard to slow that down, Jules. As McBride and Laney collide there. And the foul is going to be on Kayla McBride out of Notre Dame, the 28-year-old that was the 2014 third overall pick. Also in the Notre Dame Ring of Honor, she was inducted into that in 2017, and her and Fowles. I think Cheryl Reeves sees the writing on the wall for this one. They're going to take a seat and get a rest for the rest of this one, it looks like. As Lene Harper is back into this one. Ionescu finds Whitcomb in the corner. No good. But the Liberty used most of the shot clock there. Coming up on 90 seconds left in this one. Whistle away from the ball. That was Kevin Sparrock with the call. Michaela Onyenwede with the foul there. What an exciting start to this 2021 Liberty season, Jules. Just unbelievable. Banham connects, foul line extended. Opening night win here at Barclays Center on that game-winning 3 by Sabrina Ionescu. Then they go out to Indiana on Sunday. They clamped down defensively out there, out-rebounded the Fever after getting bombarded on the boards here at Barclays Center in the first game. And now, against a title contender in the Minnesota Lynx, they have a 12-point lead with 1:20 left. Seeking their third 3-0 start in franchise history, the inaugural season in 1997 and 2007 as well. That's the last time.
It's been a while. It has been a while.
But it's kind of fitting, Jules, that it's the 25th anniversary of the league and the team, and they're going to start the same way they did in 1997.
One of the 3 original franchises. I think we're going to say that all the time, right?
And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the Liberty make the finals in 1997?
They might have. They might have, off the top of my head. They probably did. That crew was dynamic. The very early stages of the WNBA.
Not trying to be Nostradamus here with the finals prediction, but getting off to a 3-0 start, if the Liberty do indeed hold on here with the 12-point lead, is a step in the right direction for Walt Hopkins and his coaching staff. And it's a testament to all their hard work and these players as well. A little bit of the weave being run here. 3 seconds to shoot. Onyenwede, no good, and a shot clock violation. But 43 seconds remain, and the Liberty with a comfortable 12-point lead.
Well, New York really came out hard in that second half. In the third quarter, really is where they pulled away. They were down at halftime, remember, and their third quarter was absolutely just like their first.
Jess Shepard hits from downtown, but the Lynx are 3 for 22 from the land of the 3 as the crowd starting to feel the third straight win to start this season here at Barclays Center. 2-0 at Barclays Center, 1-0 on the road. As Laney finds Shook, who lays it up and in. And it's academic right now as the Lynx can just dribble this one out. There is no 11-point shot that can bring them back in this one. Dantas step back 3, no good, and that's the way it ends. Sabrina Ionescu grabs another board, and the New York Liberty Jewels start 3-0 for the first time since 2007, and the third time in franchise history.
And talk about confidence boosting to win your first 3 games of the WNBA season after the last couple of seasons that have certainly been disappointing for this franchise. Just a lot of changes, a lot of things have taken place, and they've just played tremendous. They've got some great pieces, and they've been consistent in finishing games, and that's what's been important.
And Jules,